Rightio, let's confront those abductors. Oh, hang on, could we collect anything? No. Alright. Hello! Meet us yet?
And death to the other! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
They certainly are. Leave him to you. You are totally crap at this, aren't you, Kurt? Do I need to come over and settle this for you? God, you guys are shit at this. Oh. God's sake. I was on the edge of a ledge, but seriously! No excuses! Rusty rapier, okay. And that would be the other way to get it. Of course, up there. Climb, thank you. Right. Run through here. Oh, whoa. Okay, so we found that place. Wait a minute, let's toggle something. Where does that door lead? Oh, is this the barracks? Quite possibly. It certainly is. Okay. Hang on, let me just work something. No, that's not what I meant to do. God damn it. Actually, can we go through here? No, we can't. Oh, screw it. Since we're already this way, I might as well go here. Alright. So let's have a look down here, and then I think we'll slowly make our way over here to the Corsili. Was it Corsilion? Corsilion? Oh, well, we'll let Desade pronounce it for us. I think I was fairly close though. I find it amazing how, you know, we're hearing a lot of British accents, and yet we're seeing French names. I don't really get how that's working out, but anyways. Not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue it because it's not that bad. At least they're not using a French accent. Then we'd be in trouble. So wouldn't half time be able to understand them. Is anybody or just wandering around having a look? I suppose I could go in there, but oh, good. Face it. Thank you. That looks like suspiciously like a place we might be fighting. Alright. Wait. Was that something we could search? No. There's bloody embers in the sky. How do we see? Borage? I actually have no idea what the hell that even is, but anyway. Hopefully you can. Oh, good. I just wanted to sort of circle around a little bit first, just to get our bearings. Right, nothing there. Okay. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I said I was going to try and go in random doors, didn't I? That's what I said I was going to do. At least attempt it. So, where are we here? Right, so a couple of ways in. Right. Okay. That must just be the other way. Fair enough. Ah, okay, gotcha. Right, let's find out how we pronounce this.
Your Highness, I'm happy to see you. Your absence this morning worried both your father and me.
Come now, Sir de Corsillon. My father may have been angry, outraged, or disappointed, but he's never worried about me. I am sad to have caused you any worry, though. Would you believe that I was rotting away in a sinister jail, guarded by thugs ready to kill me? Though still seeing double from last night's drink, I was preparing an ingenious escape plan.
Of course you were.
When, ta-da! My fair cousin jumped up out of nowhere and saved me. I'm quite the fairy tale damsel in distress.
You might have refrained from the company of bandits the night before such an important departure.
True.
Take away the risk and halve the pleasure, de Corsillon. It is the salt of life.
I fear that some of my teachings have been misunderstood. But you wanted to ask me something, de Sade?
Apparently, yes, de Corsillon. De Corsillon. I'm not going to try and say it fast. De Corsillon. That's just it. I'll be tongue-tied. Right.
What will be your official title on Tirfredi? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor. Nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master.
Right. The hinting
I
of
need
the
to be
future
leaving.
roles.
I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
And missions. We do actually have a few things to do. Right, so let's go and meet this Captain Vasco.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life.
Oh dear.
There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco!
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's niece. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship. Not a boat.
True.
Apologies.
Constantine d'Orsay, future governor of Tirfredi. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well, Your Highness. I hope you enjoy your voyage.
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, Could you report it to me?
No
I'd
problem.
like to set sail with a clear mind.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's just ask about general stuff. The Norts.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nort?
Our magic, yes, that only the Norts master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Norts for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Well, at least they have their own methods. I'll say that much.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Norts. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Fair enough. Don't blame me for that. Dear Freddy?
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land, and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
Well, as a captain, I can actually understand that, Vasco. I got a few more things to ask. Well, to be honest, let's ask for the help. The help. Help on merchandise. There.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel...
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates, after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Teofredi. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves.
It
It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
Quietly, quietly. Don't need Vasco to hear us. God. Heretics?
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. Might I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Let's not worry about it at all, to be honest.
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
Uh-huh. Now, the cabin boy?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Okay.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Miss Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Okay.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Oh boy. Plenty of things to do. Right. Let's, for God's sake, come on. This, blah blah blah. Tamper with that. House clear, where's guards? Right. So. Let's do this one.
The hiding place of this smuggler is filthy. But perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Laura.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Taken?
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Well, he's probably just more concerned about his ship and keeping it afloat and, you know, just safe to use. Can't blame him for that, I suppose.
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Okay.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy.
Well, stranger things have happened, really, haven't they?
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof, gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Well, it's something to go on at least, isn't it?
Thank you, Lauro. I need to be going.
Right. Go with the kit. Come on, move around it. Let's go in here. Oh, yes, there is. Well, well, well. They said something about area that's off limits only to the Nords, so that's probably going to help us, isn't it? That will be very useful. Smuggler's Journal. I have two new clients. They want to go to outside, and the Inquisitors are on their heels, which will not make my job any easier. I think I can get them onto a ship inconspicuously, but we will have to be cautious, and I hope that they will prove patient and discreet. I'll hide them away in that warehouse behind the harbour office, where the Inquisitors will never dare to enter. Aha! Right. That helps. A lot. We have to interrogate ourselves. Ourselves. Try to interrogate the smuggler. Ourselves. Oh god, let's talk to Flavia.
Good day. Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who was gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Well, first, about Vasco?
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
Actually, now, a lot of people might find that a little surprising, like 25, he's a captain. Do bear in mind that back in the days, like with military, same in the military, you could have people who were lieutenants, captains, even majors, all that sort of stuff, who are actually really young. You know, I mean, alright, you may think, oh yeah, but, so, you know, why... You know, what does he have to be? What if he was at sea only until 17? A lot of these people have been at sea sometimes since they were 10. You know, 10 to 15 years old. They're actually at sea really young. That's not exactly surprising, especially in history. It's a bit to some truth to it. So, you know, when someone says, you know, it's like 25 to 30, for example. Saying that they're a captain just means they've had a really, really good career. You know, they've obviously been very successful, or they might know the right people. Who knows? But it's not unsurprising at all. Just thought I'd shed some light on that. Kind of curious. A lot of people would find that surprising, but I don't.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator. He knows his craft well, in spite of being...
How old is he?
He's not seen his...
Ah, crap. I totally forgot we'd selected that. Ah, dearie me. There you go, off with my own thoughts again. Let's have a look. Let's just go through the list.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
Well, that's not good.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
So it's definitely not going to be under the influence, that's for sure. Or at least it would sound that way, as it were.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Enemies?
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
It sure does. That's for damn sure.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here. I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
Right. Actually, we can go up this way, can't we? Not just a fire. Right. Well, can't they take that? It's a few coins. Sorry, lady, but oh, the governor after all. Or the diplomat. We are from royalty, I suppose, as it were, or at least family of it. Okay. Is that Jeff? Jeff? Oh, never mind.
Good day, Tavern Keeper.
Can I pour you anything? It's you. I didn't recognize you, my scruffy young pup. You put this place to shambles last night.
I am quite sorry about that. I'm afraid I let the festive spirit get the better of me.
Better of you. You broke everything. If you think for a second that I'm...
Come on now. Don't be angry about such trivialities. I'm certain we can make amends. Now, what can I do? The contents of this pouch should be worth your forgiveness. What do you say?
Forgiven and even forgotten, your lordship. Whatever can I do for you?
I'd say call him Jeffrey. Jeffroy. No, Jeffroy. That's it. Jeffroy. I'd call it Jeffrey, but that's be an EY. So it's OY. I'll call him Jeffroy. Different ways to pronounce that sort of name anyway. So.
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malicor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for.
I'm
now
not
that we
surprised.
have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Malachor?
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People were still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Yeah, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
So the usual ups and downs, the added disadvantage of the Malachor. At Tier
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Tier
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port.
Oh.
But you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out then, aren't we?
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
He's got a point there. They usually, the barkeeps and all that, they usually do notice everything, especially in that sort of area to which he's, you know, watching over. You normally notice stuff like that, so... But they may have a point there.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I
Not
need
now.
to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Ah! I could work with you. Ooh. Are you affected by the Malachor or something?
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
It looks quite the worse for wear, that's for sure. Poor thing.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
And what happened?
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift.
Sure do.
They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
That's what they all say.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It
And?
was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
The story's only going to get deeper and deeper. How the hell do we get up there? Actually, I suppose could up here, up there, and up here. Oh, hang on. We're gonna look for a bookshelf. A bookshelf. Oh god, bookshop. There. Did we go through here? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Out the way. Hang on. Is that something we can collect? Oh no, it's just that bloody stupid ember things showing off. Sky, God's sake.
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you.
Thank
Enter,
you.
Please.
Well, we will anyways, no matter what you say, but thank you for the invitation nonetheless. I swear, we've seen so many of these damn pictures of the same people. Oh, finally a different portrait. Finally a different one. Oh boy. Madam?
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lady de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
And the revelation reveals itself. Well. And the plot thickens.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
Fair point.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
For a guy that's not drunk, to carry him means he's refusing. And the only way they carry him is if they knocked him out. So, just think about that story you're kind of leaving out.
How did you find your son's trail?
We have never stopped looking for him. We learned the new name they gave him, Jonas. My poor little Celestine. Then we learned the name of the ship he sailed on. No sooner had it docked in Serene than my husband had the crew watched closely, and we found him.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Naughts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact... it sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Naughts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
So, we're going to talk to De Cosilion or Vasco? Sure about that, to be honest. Vasco. We might be needing to confirm stuff for Cosilion. We'll see. That's going the wrong way. Out the way. Out the way, dude. Oh, let's just go this way. Actually.
Madam,
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
No!
we should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
We'll figure that out. Don't worry about that.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
Required.
Contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Oh, how I would like my father to be implicated in this sordid business.
Of course
Our
you
old
would.
teacher must surely know what's going on here. Let's go talk to him.
I was just thinking the same thing. To Corsilion, I'd like a bit of information on this. Clear all this up for us, if you don't mind.
Yes? Well, how can your old professor be of service to you?
Contracts?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there has always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
There's a lot of ugly things that have happened, so... what you can do at times, let's face it. Out of the way, madam. Ow! That's cool. Oh, hang on. We have a clue. Note to the attention of the servant. Alice, I would like to prepare several meals and bring... I would like you to prepare several meals and bring them to the warehouses we own on the canal. My husband will have to work there with his clerk and his men for a few days, so make sure that there is enough food for everyone, and be discreet. We do not want other families to know what is happening. Aha!
This document mentions another property. A warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Absolutely. Not agree more. Alright, I'll tell you what. We'll take a break here. Good place. When we come back, we are going to try and sneak in and free the cabin boy. After that, I think we'll go and change the ship manifest as well. And oh yes, and we're also going to find those heretics as well down by the docks. But we'll worry about all that next time. So, I'll see you then.